Now at 4:30, a fight between two women ends in deadly gunfire. Who was shot and what happened to the suspects? Two family dogs are shot and killed after a police officer claims he feared for his life. What a security camera was able to catch of the incident. And President Biden is trying to walk back comments he made about Trump supporters, what he called them and what he supposedly meant to say. And good morning to you on this Wednesday, October 30th. I'm Sarah Duran. We will get to some of those headlines in a moment, but first, let's get a check of the weather. And Paul, I know everybody has their eyes on the forecast this morning because we are just one day out from Halloween.
Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting real close. We've got a chance for some showers on Halloween. I'll talk about that coming up. But for today, lots of clouds this morning, just like yesterday morning. Maybe a sprinkle or a little light shower. It'll be really brief if you do see one. Otherwise, a little patchy drizzle. Temperatures at noon, 82, and we're going to be at 90 degrees, I think, for a high. And yes, that is about as hot as it gets for this time of the year. Really amazing stuff, actually. All right, we've got a little bit of some light sprinkle activity. You can see some showers there on radar, western portions of Bexar County. This is all false return. Haven't seen much else, but there will be some additional light showers out there this morning. Winds are out of the south at about 10 miles per hour. Look at the hill country. Woo, it's breezy up there in Kerrville. Winds out of the south at 20, gusting to 25 this morning. All right, so temperatures lower 70s, lots of clouds will break it up. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. High temperature, I just hate to say it. Look at this, Sarah. 90 degrees.
90 degrees. Hate to see it.
Right.
All righty. Thank you, Paul, so
Yes.
much. New this morning, a fight between two women turns into a deadly shooting before anyone can throw a punch. It happened on Mockingbird and Tupelo Lane before 12:30 this morning on the city's northwest side. Police say two women intentionally met up to fight each other and they were both accompanied by a man. Before the fight could even begin, one of the men opened fire on the other guy, hitting him in the stomach and leg. Police say the couple who started shooting then ran from the scene, leaving behind a vehicle. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but just moments ago, the medical examiner confirmed that he died from his injuries. Detectives are now investigating. Now to a top story this morning that we are following very closely involving deadly force against two family dogs. A San Antonio couple is outraged after a police officer shot and killed their pets. The officer claims he feared for his life. The entire incident was caught on home security camera, and of course we want to send out a warning this morning to our viewers. What we are going to show you is disturbing. KENS 5's Megan Reyna has the story.
At 11:42 Sunday morning, a San Antonio police officer is seen pulling into the driveway of a home off Lock Hill Road for reports of a fight between a man and a woman. He gets out and is seen walking to the back of the house. At 11:44, he knocks on the back door with his gun drawn.
San Antonio Police!
You can hear the dogs barking inside. Less than a minute later, homeowner Saber Sakula says she opened the door and her dog Rainey ran out.
He immediately shot her, about 3 steps out the door.
Saber quickly ran out in shock, but her other dog Freyas followed. She attempts to hold the other dog back, but as the dog got closer to the officer, he fired off another shot.
He could have shot her. She was right there.
Saber's husband, Trey, is then seen running outside. The reaction, pure heartbreak.
And I held Rainey, told her to hang in there. I spooned her until she died and told her to go to my daughter in heaven.
Rainey was their only daughter, Cammie's dog. Cammie was killed by a drunk driver 2 years ago.
She said it was her spirit animal, and that is one of the last, real things I had left of Cammie.
Rainey was also a registered emotional support dog and seen here in this photo with Chief William McManus for a Mothers Against Drunk Driving event.
The police chief was loving on this very dog that he shot.
Saber candidly spoke about how these dogs saved her life.
It's like that's the last thing here that needed me, you know what I mean? That needed me to stay alive.
According to an incident report, the officer stated he did try and knock on the front door before going to the back door, and he feared for his safety when the dogs ran out. But the couple says these dogs aren't dangerous.
These dogs, all they want to do is be by you. And if they're coming out wagging their tail, yes, they bark, Dogs bark.
And they want the officer to be held accountable. San Antonio police say Internal Affairs is investigating the incident since the officer discharged his weapon.
It is not acceptable. It's not, and we're not going to accept it. Don't have to accept it.
Megan Reyna, KINS 5.
The couple says on top of everything, Animal Care Services cited them for having loose dogs since their property is not fenced in. We followed up with ACS about the citation, but they would not comment. The couple tells us later today they plan to head to SAPD headquarters to file a formal complaint against that officer. Developing this morning, 2 students are in a lot of trouble after police say they had a gun on the campus of Clemens High School. Schertz police say the discovery was made during an after-school event. Just before 6:30 last night, a parent tipped off a school resource officer that one of the students had a gun in their car. Officers say the student had a stolen firearm in their backpack. 2 students were arrested. Police say they are not aware of any threats made to the school, students, or staff. This morning, a San Antonio police officer is suspended without pay for beating up a suspect. An SAPD investigation revealed Officer Matthew Sparks kicked a handcuffed suspect back in March. The department found Sparks also twisted the suspect's thumb and punched him in the face during a scuffle. The report states the officer failed to turn on his body camera before assaulting the suspect. Sparks is also accused of shoving a fellow officer who tried to intervene. Sparks was given a 45-day suspension, which began this month. He is set to return to duty in November. Well, the time is now 4:36. 2 homes are raided under suspicion of human trafficking. What was found inside and how many people were taken into custody? A Pleasanton favorite is back in business this morning after a fire forced its owners to shut down its doors. We take you inside the new and improved Cafe Chris. And a new survey is shining some light on how Americans impulse buy around the holidays. Who is most likely to do it and why? Coming up.